This is Bob, deep in the land of 10,000 Lakes Hope. I'd like to have you come along with me right now as we hit the road to Minnesota, the vacation road to Minnesota, for a tour of the sights and sounds of this vast vacation land. The Minnesota license plates boasts of 10,000 lakes, but that's modest Minnesota for you. Actually, there are 14,215 lakes at the latest count, and they're still counting. Yes, sir, it's really peaceful here, just the sounds of the forest and the gentle lapping of the waves. How Bing would love it here. He can sing duets with the loons. There, did you hear that? There's the call of the loon now, but what do you say we take off now on the road to Minnesota? Let's see if we can find a friendly native to act as our guide. There's one over there with his rod and reel. You speak 'em English? You want 'em be guide for white brother?
Why, I'd be delighted, old man. Simply charmed out of my Northwoods mind.
Who write 'em your dialogue, friendly native? Tell us, how's the fishing?
Well, let's see here. So far, I got 2 northern pike, I got 1 muskie, 6 walleyes, bottle of red eye. Say, how'd that get in there? 22 crappies, 8 bass, and a gunny sack full of 1-pound sunfish. Of course, I've only been fishing for about 10 minutes, or I'd be doing better, you see.
But tell me, old friendly native, is there any wildlife around here?
Oh, I tell you, about 2 miles back on the trail, there's a roadhouse that, swings out pretty good, they tell me.
No, I mean like moose and elk and deer and bear.
I tell you what you do, Junior. Down toward the end of the lake, there's a bull moose standing by the mouth of that stream.
Yeah, I saw him. I hope he doesn't see me. I'm a member of the Elks, you know. Hey, listen to that moose call. Boy, is this great country for wildlife. You bring the kids along on the road to Minnesota, and they'll see more wildlife in its native habitat than they could ever see in a zoo. And bring your camera along. You'll get some pictures you'll be showing your friends for years to come. And oh, those sunsets and dawns, really breathtaking.
Where the blue...
Oh, no, tell me it isn't so.
Someone?
Good heavens, it's true. My simple native guide turned out to be Crosby.
Awful, isn't it? Isn't it awful? Come on now, let's get going, Bob. One of the things everyone wants to see is where the Mississippi River starts. So if you just kind of hop up on my backside like a good papoose, why, we're off on the road to Minnesota.
Itasca State Park.
And there it is. See what the sign says on that rustic post, will you, Junior?
Here, 1,475 feet above the ocean, the mighty Mississippi begins to flow on its winding way 2,552 miles to the Gulf of Mexico. Well, it's just a little stream here. You can even walk across it.
Shall we?
Hey, look at me, Ma. I'm wading across the Mississippi River.
Look out!
Oh!
Well, he was a cinch to get dunked sooner or later, this kid. Anything for a laugh. So to proceed, you know, this is great camping country. There's a campsite for every kind of a camper. Not to mention, of course, 74 state parks. All right, now pour the water out of your shoes there, Junior, and let's take off again on the road to Minnesota.
we are on the open road, and what highways they have in Minnesota. Highways to happiness over the rolling hills of Albert Lea in southern Minnesota, past the world-famous clinic at Rochester, through Pipestone, where for centuries the Indians have carved their peace pipes from the peculiar soft red rock, the famous old fort at Fort Snelling, the oldest military post west of the Mississippi, and then over the beautiful scenic roadways heading into still more lake country, Paul Bunyan land. The trees overhead forming an archway as we speed along the shores of sparkling lakes, paralleling the rushing streams, seeing the pines and birches grow taller and taller as we travel deep into the majestic North Woods. Ah, this is sightseeing.
We are by the waters of Minnetonka now, Junior.
By the shores of Gitchigumi, by the shining Big Sea waters, stood the wigwam of Nokomis, daughter of the moon, Nokomis.
Oh, yes, indeed. That Longfellow wrote some lovely verse, lovely things.
Longfellow. Yeah, I know him, Sam Longfellow. He's a writer at Paramount. Didn't he write Road to Hong Kong for us?
Hey, there it is. There it is.
Where?
Right below you there, down the hill. The farthest inland seaport in the world.
Why, sure, the port of Duluth. Look at that big freighter pulling out. Name me some more attractions in Minnesota, old friendly native.
Well, the resorts are mighty keen, Junior. There's a resort for everyone in Minnesota. There's great big posh ones, there's medium-sized ones with playgrounds and all kinds of stuff like that for the kids. And then, of course, there's the real outdoorsman-type resorts, too. You know, the rugged-type places. Boy, they think of everybody.
It's about time we tried one of the 10,000 lakes ourselves, Bing. Look, I've got my water skis.
Oh, I must say, I do like your bathing costume, Rob. I really do. Where'd you get it? Is that something handed down to you by Gertrude Ederle or Buster Keaton or maybe one of Odette Kellerman's old jobs, huh?
I think it's very nice. Besides, it keeps my knees warm. Now get in the boat. When I say go, you give it the gun. Once I get these skis on my feet, this will be a lot of fun. Let's see. This strap goes here. Now for the next one. Now. Wait! I didn't say go!
Oh, Lord, 500,000 people out water skiing today in Minnesota. And I have to get you. Tell what we do. Why don't we try some boating? Boating's very large in Minnesota, very large. You know that there are enough boats in Minnesota to float every resident of the state at one time. Imagine that.
Well, somebody's got my seat because I'm sinking.
I say there, Robert, feast your eyes upon the towers of the Twin Cities. On your left, St. Paul. On your right, Minneapolis.
Lots of hustle and bustle here, Dad. Looks like the Twin Citizens are folks on the go.
Oh, you got to know it. Yes, sir. They're on the go. Business is booming.
Hey, listen, what's all the cheering?
You know what it is? I bet Killebrew just killed another fat one for those Minnesota Twins.
There he goes, hurrying Hugh McElhaney, running down the sidelines. 20, 10, and he's over for another one for the Vikings.
tell you, it's great. When folks are vacationing in Minnesota, they can see Major League Baseball and football out at big and beautiful Metropolitan Stadium. And at the same time, or later or earlier, they can be catching some Major League fish.
Minnesota, a state that's made for memories. Vacation memories you'll carry with you all your life. Why don't you make it Minnesota on your next vacation? In the meantime, thanks for the memory, for shady woodland hikes, for 10-pound walleyed pikes, for all your sights and moonlight nights a million miles from Mike's. Thank you so much. And thanks for the memory of broiling campfire steaks, the sound the wild loon makes, canoeing trips, refreshing dips in your 10,000 lakes. Thank you so much.